Pegi 18.
Hello and welcome everyone to the second season, should I say, of Stardew Valley here on Not Your Professional Walkthroughs channel with me, your host Max. Well, I've been thinking about this for a long time, and since the 1.4 update for Stardew Valley has dropped, I've seen a major spike in interest for the title. Meaning, for the past month, while I've been looking over the Twitch page specifically regarding Stardew Valley, where 1 up to 5 people were streaming the title, when the update finally launched, suddenly there were over 400 streamers, and well, the content that I have prepared for the first season of the game, which I'm currently uploading onto my channel, will continue until the end of the summer. Therefore, I will publish 3 more episodes onto my channel, and by doing so, I will close up Season 1 of Stardew Valley, where unfortunately I was only able to cover the spring and summer seasons. Unfortunately, this is, well, it is unfortunate. Due to the fact that I have managed to come across some really interesting stuff which I really wanted to share on my channel, but the 1.4 changes so much about the game that by the time I would actually be able to start uploading 1.4 update for the first season of Stardew Valley, well, it would be year 2 of the game. So of course, I would have it easier on one hand to get to some of the items, but on the other hand, not so much. Why is it easy to get my hands on certain items? Well, if I were to build a shed on my farm, which I usually do, because if you would go to the wiki page of Stardew Valley, you would come across one major important thing. And this is something that I wanted to cover on my videos as well, but unfortunately never managed to get to it. So, why do I go with shed? Well, in order for me to explain that, let's go to the wiki page so you have a better understanding. If we were to go on the wiki page of Stardew Valley, here we are able to see one thing. If you build a barn, we are talking a footprint 7 times 4. You require 6,000 gold, 350 wood, and 150 stone. Why am I talking about the barn when I want to discuss shed? Well, I'm talking about the barn specifically because lots of people tend to have deluxe barn, or at least the big barn, on their farm, and inside they tend to keep the kegs, preserves jars, furnaces, just so that they don't have to put it into a shed, as they can fit a massive amount of these tools or crafting items in their barn. But if you add up the overall cost for the resources, building a simple shed is simply much cheaper, because we are talking 300 wood, we are talking 15,000, and the size is 7 times 3. So overall, we are missing on one space of 7. And now that the upgrade has been released, or the update, we can upgrade the shed. If you want to upgrade the shed, this can be very easily done. What you need to go after you have your shed constructed by Robin on your farm, you visit her shop, and if you would to go to her place, you would see that basically the big shed requires 20,000 gold, 550 wood, and 300 stone. Of course, this might make an actual difference in how much the resources are now compared, because obviously 15,000 plus 20,000 is more than 6,000 plus 12,000. But overall, I still would like to actually utilize a shed for the, let's say, barrels or kegs and preserves jars compared to a barn where I like to keep my animals instead. So most likely I will go with that. Now, when it comes to the other newly added content, well, this is why I actually want to go over one major thing, and that would be actually me playing the new map on the 1.4. So Season 2 will basically take place on the Four Corners farm. Now, of course, this farm is pretty useful when it comes to multiplayer, because you can basically construct the small cabins in each of the corners, and by doing so, you and any of your friends will have it much easier to basically construct anything on their end of the map. However, I do believe that the map can be useful even for a single player experience. Why do I think that? Well, in order for me to explain, how about we would take a look at the layout or the overall picture of the map itself. So, if I were to show you once again the browser for and the official website for the Stardew Valley, if we were to go all the way down through the amazing fish ponds, we can get finally to the layout of the farm. So this poses an interesting option for your layout. The greenhouse is now in the middle, same goes for the cave, where you can potentially have either your beds or mushrooms. If you take a look over the map, you will see that the map is divided into 4 sectors. In the top right corner, you have your farm or your cabin, and you have the closest land for production. Based on the overall print screen, we see that only very few obstructions which require upgraded tools are placed here. So I do not see on this print screen any massive log or any of the bigger rocks which can be found in these small passageways that would prevent you to do anything on your first section or sector. So my idea was to potentially utilize, let's say, the first sector for farming because it's closest. Then when I would make finally my way over here, potentially this entire spot can be turned into a massive farming sector. Well, not farming, I was more talking about the farm animals, This is due to the fact that even if you utilize the auto grabbers, which can now in the update be utilized in the coop, so your eggs, your duck feathers, your rabbit wool, your void eggs, your dinosaur eggs can be all picked up, you still need to interact with the animals to increase the relationship between your character and the animals, so you can get your hands eventually at the iridium quality products. So my idea was to utilize, for example, the second sector in the following way. Here in the corner you can always put a silo, and next to it you can potentially squeeze in a barn or two with a coop. I think it might fit. Separate the middle of the farm, and in the second section put down, let's say, the fisheries. Or if you do not want to utilize such a technique, you can of course put the fisheries into the lower segment of your farm, here with the big lake. Because potentially what you can do is put your crab pots along the shore of this big lake, which, when you increase your fishing skill, is equipped with deep water, so you should be able to catch fresh water fish, which is really great. What I do appreciate is that the pathway to the forest is not obstructed. If you were to play, for example, the forest map or the basic map layout, you usually need to navigate amongst these massive rocks down at the map, or these bigger logs or stumps which are obstructing your way in order to make your way to some spring onions. Here you have a lovely pathway down there, so it should not cause any issue for you. But like I said, if you do not want to put your fisheries into the second half of this sector, you can put it all in here. Let's say have the walls covered with the potential of the bait machines, where they can be crafting bait for you. In the middle section you can have the fishing ponds, and here in the lower section you can have your crab pots with potential items which will be working on the caviar on your behalf. The last segment can be potentially used for your sheds. This is just an idea. Of course you can utilize the upper part for, let's say, farming once again. And here I'm talking about the sheds just because you have this small tiny place which will spawn ore and rocks for you. Now if you would to utilize this in, let's say, the first day, because your mining skill is so low, of course you're gonna get a lower amount of copper, let's say, if it will spawn. You never know what might spawn on your first day. Potentially you might come even across some iron, you never know. But overall, the potential of the map is really great, and therefore this will be the layout which I have decided to go with on my second season of Stardew Valley. And I'm so unhappy that I will not show you the footage for, let's say, winter of year 1 which I had prepared. But I am working with what I'm working, and I will most likely record just a couple of days, and therefore I will then look over any comments or tips left by you in the comment section and be more able to implement these changes as I go through my playthrough, rather than recording 20 days and then uploading it for I don't know how many months. But I kind of got carried away. I do enjoy the game very much. So that will be the plan for this playthrough. Now, here in the basic structure of your new playthrough, you will see few differences. There are 3 major changes in this section. What you can notice first is the 4 corners farm. Second one is related to the animals. You have now 3 breeds of cat and 3 breeds of a dog. So you have your basic kitty, this gray one which looks really nice, and if I'm gonna do another playthrough, I'm gonna try to go with the cat, and if I'm gonna choose one, I'm going with the gray one. The gold one looks cute as well, but I don't know, there's just something about the gray looking cat. Now when it comes to our pooches, we have our basic dog. I don't know if that is a proper term to describe this guy, but I mean, he's cute anyhow, but now we have some choices. So if you were to think of this guy as your golden retriever, the second breed would be probably your German Shepherd, and the third one, I have no idea. This can be honestly anything from Saint Bernard to who knows. So I'm thinking I'm gonna try to go with the German Shepherd. I do love these dogs. They are a lot of fun and they shed so much. So yeah, if you live in an apartment and you have yourself a German Shepherd, you definitely know what I'm talking about. But anyhow, what is the third major change? Well, it's fairly simple. A new content has been added for your character. So now you have much more haircuts to choose from, specifically 56 choices. I'm not sure what was exactly the previous number. That is because I usually go with haircut number 9. Okay? But since we are doing this video, let's cover the other options, of course. I like to take a look at the character from the profile. This is usually due to the fact that what I've noticed is that I usually stand from the side, so you see the side of the character the most, and this helps me also take a better look at how I will potentially look on my farm while I'm grinding through all the stuff that I need to do. So overall, the original haircuts are still here. But some of the new ones are real nice, and I think one of them is a reference to Star Wars. Don't quote me on that, I'm gonna show you what I mean in a few seconds. So the cool thing now is that, for example, Steam has the autumn sale. If you want to pick up Stardew Valley, I recommend doing it so right now. If you do not like the game, of course you can get yourself a refund. But I can tell you from my personal experience in 2016 when the game came out, when I started playing I was hooked and I could not stop for the life of it. So yeah, this is the haircut which I was talking about. And don't tell me this is not your Princess Leia from Star Wars 4. Right? Isn't this the New Hope haircut? Come on, come on. This looks like the haircut she had on the Corellian cruiser. I think that's what's the name of the ship, right? Correct me in the comment section if not. I haven't checked up on my Star Wars ships in a while, so I do apologize if I messed that one up. So, will I go with something fancy? We have some sort of pigtails, even bigger ones. Actually, these are ponytails, no? This is more... Well... I'm a guy, I'm really bad in hairstyle, so... You know... I'm glad that I actually own a comb but don't quote me on this. So since I'm gonna be playing a male character, this looks really fun. But I'm not gonna go with this. I'm gonna go with my usual choice, and yes, you can even have the bald head. So that's fun. So I'm gonna go... No, sorry, I like to keep some sort of hair on my head. I'm gonna go with the usual 9. I just don't know, I like this one the most. Now, clothes. You have also more options to pick up some additional clothes. So, when you will try to go through this, go nuts and see what you will like. Obviously, I'm gonna go with something basic. I'm going right now through my metal face, so I don't know, maybe I'm gonna go with... This looks nice. It's kind of interesting. I'm not sure if this is like a sweater or turtleneck or what is this thing. 85. This looks like your basic black shirt. Okay, nice, 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 nice. So overall, you have choices galore, and you will have a ton of fun customizing your character. Let's go with the skull. Oh yeah, and you have even the option to go with some skirts now. Should I go with shorts? This is gonna be interesting to explain during the winter season. But since we're starting in the spring, how about we go with the shorts? And, well, since I'm rocking beard myself... Yeah, no? Wow, okay. I don't see anything now. Is it glasses or what's the difference? Okay, now we have glasses, now we don't. Yeah, let's go with the typical beard. Should I go with something so obvious? It's gonna be probably way easier for me to locate the save in my list of files. I should really once go through all of them and potentially show you what I have currently in my library, but we will see. Favorite thing? Let's go with something like Iridium. Maybe it's gonna affect the Secret Santa during the Christmas event. Who knows? Let's give this a shot and see how this turns out. Since this will be the first episode of 1.4, I might spice it up a bit, and how about I do first 2 days? Just so that we get at least to the fishing rod and see if I might get my hands on the midnight carp potentially. Who knows? It's one of the 2 newly added fish. I looked over the wiki and the patch notes have been allocated into the wiki page. Unfortunately, we still are missing the items to have their specific pages, so we will see overall. But let's get into this and see how the game has changed from 1.3. And I will see you in a few seconds. Dear James, if you're reading this, you must be in a dire need of a change. The same thing happened to me long ago. I'd lost sight of what mattered most in my life, real connections with other people and nature. So I dropped everything and moved to the place I truly belong. I've enclosed the deed to the place, my pride and joy. 1.4 Farm. It's located in Stardew Valley on the southern coast. It's the perfect place to start your new life. This was my most precious gift of all, and now it's yours. I know you'll honor the family name, my boy. Good luck, love, Grandpa. P.S. If Lewis is still alive, say hi to the old guy for me, will ya? Well, we've seen how the farm looks in 1.4 when we get to it first time. I do wonder what's the difference in the newly added update of the title. Should I be surprised? Should I be surprised and expect something better? We'll see. Now, while we'll be interacting with Robin and Lewis, I want to talk about why I decided to launch second season of Stardew Valley here on Not Your Professional Walkthroughs. The thing is that despite the fact that certain things have been done by me already, there are so many changes now which I would like to go through with everyone. It would be just easier. I will talk about these changes as we go along, as obviously I read through the massive patch note. I'm gonna leave a link for the ones that I have found for the website, of course, so that you can go through them on your own. But overall, the quality of life changes and everything which has been added, there's just so much that it would be easier this way. And also, because I do want to proceed working on the channel, and I do truly enjoy this title, I do want to cover Stardew Valley. Now, due to the fact that I want to keep an interaction with the audience, especially in the comment section, I'm gonna mark my videos for adults despite Stardew Valley being rated Pegi 7. I'm not sure how much my references to God in my favorite phrase count as cursing. However, I'm not sure if my content is specifically oriented to the children themselves. Therefore, you might have noticed that I have put a warning in the start of the video due to the fact that in 2020, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act will come to an effect. I need to make sure that when the videos are watched, I will not come into any trouble, and I do want to maintain interaction with the audience, which is why I'm gonna make these videos more for adults. I'm gonna try to, well, obviously I'm not gonna be cursing the entire time or something, but you kind of get my point. I might have to go back and do some work on the channel. I will see. This is still a hobby for me. I'm not earning any money. But this is something which I wanted to do for ages, and finally, since I can, I do want to proceed with this, as I really enjoy working on the videos, publishing the videos on YouTube, interacting with the community, and we'll see how it overall goes and turns out. So wish me luck. What I am looking right now while Robin is talking to us is that I see this. If you look at it closer, you see that it's basically the same line. So potentially you can put a cobble path from the entrance to the farm in front of your cabin and up here. So potentially I can utilize even this part of the farm for farming purposes. I'm gonna obviously have to take a look at the layout. Potentially one of the websites which I tend to utilize to plan my layouts, I'm gonna see if the newly updated 4-leaf map has been added to the website, so that I can potentially generate a bigger plan for how the farm can potentially look like with the newly added feature, so that the viewers can at least see what I might be potentially going for in this walkthrough. And since I'm hoping that there won't be 1.5 update in the nearby future, I might try to concentrate on Stardew Valley, and I will see how it will go. I also, however, do want to cover the other titles as well, so I will keep working on those as well. But the hype is real, and by doing Stardew Valley 1.4, I might draw in more audience potentially and raise the awareness about my channel and create a bigger community around the titles, which we all do enjoy in our spare time that much. So one of the first things we can see that has changed overall is, I think, the considerably better looking interior of our cottage. Don't get me wrong, love the one in the basic farm layout, But I don't know, this one looks more fancier. Maybe it's the 2 windows. Maybe it's the table, the flowers, the decor matches with the wall. I don't know. We'll see. Man, these shirts look funny. So let's take a look at the weather. Okay, so we're gonna have a nice day. Somewhat annoyed luck. Alrighty. So, before I start and head out, what we can see right now is that I have the option to switch out actually. Ooh, I have red charts, that's cool. I'm gonna probably have to check tomorrow if I have a different color or if I'm gonna be wearing the same set for God knows how long. But hopefully I will at least take a shower or something. Anyhow, you have now the option to interact with even the basic clothing which you are wearing and interchange it. So you have more options obviously, which is great. Another great thing which has been added does not relate to you, but to the villagers. You see, we have already interacted with, for example, Robin and Lewis. And if you were to click on Robin, you now see the following stuff. Specifically on what day does she celebrate, in this case Robin, that's why I'm saying she, when she celebrates her birthday. So we know it's on the 21st of fall. So even if you don't want to go to the calendar every damn day, if you just meet all the townspeople and you interact with them, you have the access to the information. Here is the gift log. So you will know what are Robin's favorites, so you don't have to keep switching between the wiki page and your game. You can give her the gifts she enjoys the most. You will have them cataloged in here, and you will be even able to list between the specific categories such as fruits and veggies, animal produce, artisanal items, cooked items, flowers, foraged items, fish, ingredients, metals, minerals, gems, miscellaneous. So this is a great change, and this works for all the NPCs that you have interacted with. If I would hover over George, you see that I still cannot do anything with him because I haven't introduced myself. So we have some work to be done today, obviously. Willie will not be present as of yet. He will return on the second day after his fishing trip. So since I've talked with you in the comment section, I have picked up some of the tips which you have so generously left behind. So most likely I will change up the things which I will do on my farm a bit based on the tips, as they actually do help out a lot. I might not be able to implement all of these tips. It's not that I do not understand the tip, it just might be not exactly what I'm looking for in my playthrough, but it's at least helpful to have them in the comments. So the cool thing, as I said, is that this can be your pathway, and you can lead it all the way up here where you would get to Robin's place and Linus. This pathway is blocked off, but we really don't need to go there at this point. The strategy for the game will be the same as it has been in the previous playthrough, just better execution. So what I will try to do once again is get a plenty of parsnips on my first day. Remember, you only require still 12 of them to fully mature in order for you to level up your farming to level 1 so you can get your hands on a scarecrow. Fun thing is, you will be able to have an upgrade for scarecrows after you collect all these special scarecrows. So if I remember it from the patch notes, you will have to read on this of course more, but I think there is something about the doubling of the size or the affected area, so we will no longer be working with 8 times 8, but a much larger area of an effect. So this is really great because you will save up a ton of coal eventually by not having to have so many scarecrows scattered all over your farm. Now when it's gonna come to the farming, the cool thing is that each of these sectors, well, except of the one with the massive lake, has this small little lake-like or body of water. I'm not sure if this is a pond or how should I call this, but you will always have an access to water, so you don't have to run always to one specific spot to regain your water or build wells all over your farm. You will have access to the water, and you will be able therefore to proceed with watering of your crops or refilling the water for slimes or whatever you will decide to do on your layout. Now the progress is usually the same. Since you are working only with a limited storage space, you will drop off everything, you will craft your first chest, and now it's 10:50. Energy wise, I am at a really bad spot, but because I will not be actually selling the forageable items for those few little extra coins, yes, I know they can be extremely helpful from time to time, and if I'm gonna be super desperate, I might sell a salmon berry or two in order to be able to afford one more seed, but that's gonna be on extremely rare occasions. Great thing is that I'm picking up a large amount of daffodils. Why is this great? Well, I might still go for Haley and give her the daffodils, especially make sure you give her one on the 14th of spring. This will guarantee you 2 hearts, and the flower dance is on the 24th. So overall, by the time the flower dance event rolls in, you can give her 8 daffodils, which she likes. You're not giving her a present that she loves, so you are not guaranteed the increase in friendship. But still, Haley is your best potential to have a dance partner for the flower dance. Now let's go interact with some of the townsfolk. Here we have Marnie, the person who will sell us eventually our farm animals. Here we have Abigail. I do believe she's the daughter of Pierre and Caroline, I think. I should know this by now. Let's go interact with Pierre behind the counter. Now hand over all the money. No, I'm just joking. I do need the seeds from him. So we are gonna go with the parsnips. I'm not sure if I want to eat the leek right now. That's just due to the fact that eventually when the community center will be unlocked, I will require leek, of course, in order to fulfill the community center bundle. And there are just so many townspeople. Here we have Harvey, here we have Leah. I do believe I might have seen someone else. Oh yeah, Sam is walking with Pam into the Joja Mart. Let's go interact with Pam. Alrighty. Let's go see what's in the Joja Mart. Is Shane working here? Yep. But because he's working, he's not gonna interact with us. For 1 second there, I was thinking that Pam might be actually working here. That is before we managed to fix up the bus. Anyhow, here we have Evelyn, sweet old lady. Penny has went into the caravan. I'm not sure if we're gonna see Alex inside. It's just George apparently. Is he in his room potentially? Yeah, he's working out. Good for him. Good for him. Just don't skip the leg day, okay? So who else can I potentially interact with? Oh yeah, one of the new things which has been added. You see the difference? The lid kind of jumps up and some small pieces of trash will potentially pop out. I do wonder if this effect, however, increases our overall chances of running into something more valuable. Now you do want to check Clint's trash can, especially just due to the fact that you can potentially find some minerals in there. Alrighty, we have interacted with Clint. Let's see if we can go into the museum. Sure. But we cannot interact with him because he's blocked off by a stack of books. Now the time is running out. We are at 2:40 and I feel like I haven't done almost anything, and it's the first day. And of course I'm gonna have to water stuff. But look at that! At least I'm gonna have something to put into the collection box, as I came across a huge amount of clams, even one oyster. And here we have even the treasure worms. 2 of them to be more exact. And I do see the coral, but I do require 300 pieces of wood in order to access the further part of the beach. So I'm gonna try to work on that, as getting access to the urchins and the coral will help me in leveling up my foraging skill. So what is usually the first day about? Most likely, it's about meeting as many townspeople as you can. The cool thing is that even the people which you tend to miss throughout the day, you can run into at gases. Did I just say gases? Okay, let's scratch that. You can find the people at Gus's saloon, okay? There's no gas at his saloon, or at least I hope so. Here we have Caroline. Here we have Jody. Here we have Vincent. So the basic interaction at the start has not changed with any of the NPCs. Are girls home? No. So potentially we might run into Haley in the woods taking pictures again. Here is the Marnie's ranch. This is Leah's house. So overall, we came across a really nice amount of actual forageable goods on the first day, I must say. But since my backpack is full, I'm gonna actually go to the farm, drop off what I can, and run back down to the forest, because I do want to get my hands on the spring onions. So see, as I said in the intro of the game, we basically have a super easy and convenient access to the lower section of the map, and getting to the middle is also pretty nice and easy. So I'm gonna keep the forageable items. We are now missing only the horseradish in order to make the first bundle seeds. I'm gonna sell, however, all the shellfish that I came across. I'm gonna run off to the forest because the spring onions would definitely help me ensure that I can go through planting of the parsnips, watering the parsnips, and chopping down more trees. And as I do want to gain access to the beach so that I can get my hands on the coral. I do know that I could have dropped off the parsnip seeds, but I'm not gonna be doing too many crazy things, and hopefully there will be at least 6 spring onions. Okay, so we came across 4. We came across exactly 6 spring onions. When I tested this game before the 1.4 has launched, just for the fun, I came across 14 spring onions on my first day. On my first day, that made so much difference, it was not even funny. I managed to chop down so many trees at my farm just due to the fact that I had 12 spring onions on me, and I could have replenished so much energy. Of course, I'm gonna go through all these spring onions, and you do want to go and chop down some trees. Chopping down trees increases your foraging skill. If you level up your foraging skill, when you will be going through more trees later on in the game, what you might notice is that you will be utilizing less energy, and also after you update or upgrade your tools, and that is the last piece of the spring forageable items which we require, that is the horseradish, we will be able to craft our bundle or deliver it at the community center potentially. So now the priority for me, what I need to do by the end of today, is to plant the parsnips and water them in front of my farm. What I can potentially do is try to put in the usual layout, which I tend to go with, but I'm gonna see how the new version of the farm will overall reflect this. So I'm gonna start planting my crops over here in front of the farm, because in this part you can still put in the pathway. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm gonna go with the basic layout of 15, 15, 15. I know that's more than the seeds I currently possess. I do know how to count, don't worry. I do know that I will actually require 5 more seeds in order to make the numbers that I mentioned. It's just overall, it's easier to keep an eye on this type of layout in the start and not have to deal with the specific layouts later on, which you will utilize when the sprinklers will be placed on your farm. So overall, it's getting super late, which I am not a fan of. But in order to make sure that I have planted all my crops, this is necessary. And tomorrow, if we will be lucky enough, I will be able to come across more forageable items. I'm gonna have to eat 1 dandelion just so that I have more energy for the watering purpose. So we have 39. Okay, let's take a look at what happens if we water 10 parsnip seeds. We went to 19. So that's definitely not good for us. I do not want to eat one more dandelion, and I don't want to eat the leek or anything else. So I'm gonna see what I can potentially water. 9, 7, 5, 3, 1. I really don't want to get exhausted. So I'm gonna have to actually eat the leek. I know, it's a bad plan, especially because leeks are one of the least spawned spring forageable items. You will most likely come across daffodils and dandelions. I'm actually gonna hit the exhaustion, but it was necessary. If I would come across more forageable items, this would not have happened. But this is the end of the first day. We're gonna only get money for the forageable items that I came across. Yes, I would be able to make the wild seeds if I would have capped the leek, and well, hopefully I will be able to come across one more. You never know. But the cool thing is that I came across 240 gold. So since this is a first episode, it's gonna be a bit longer, but I hope you will appreciate it. So let's head into our second day when we can interact with Willy, get our hands on some fish, and start getting some more money for our farm. Luckily, I have full energy bar. So how will the weather be for tomorrow? Tomorrow it's gonna rain, so who knows? On the second episode, I might try to do something crazy and go for the catfish. You never know. I'm weird this way. And what's the luck today? Today is a neutral day, so that should be fine. So, advertisement. Cool stuff. And my backpack is full. So Pierre is telling us about the upgrade for the backpack, and Willy is telling us that he is back from his fishing trip. Both of these news are really cool. But the fun thing is that if you were to try purchase the upgrade for the backpack on the first day, you can totally do that. I just don't have 2000 gold. So how about I chop down these 2 trees? Reason why I want to do this is I want to level up my foraging as fast as possible. I'm not looking into something like the Iridium quality forageable goods right now. I'm looking for the recipe of field snack because there are maples, oaks, and the pines at my farm. So potentially I can get my hands on all 3 types of seeds and therefore create the snack. So I'm missing only the maple. If I remember correctly, this is maple in the spring season. So right now we see that I'm burning through the energy super fast and really am not axe proficient, but that should all change. So now I should be able to get my hands potentially on at least 1 field snack. This is 45 energy, so use this as much as you can. Remember, do not give the field snack as a gift to any of the villagers. They seem to really don't appreciate this as a gift. Okay, so this came out perfectly and I was able to water the rest of my crops without having to refill the watering can in between. So I'm gonna eat the field snack. I will require more seeds in order to make additional field snack, so let's not do that. Let's do something different. I'm gonna take 50 wood with me, and I'm gonna turn it into a chest. The reason why I do this is that I will put this chest by Willy's store. This way I can maintain my gear if I need it, and this way I can keep a larger stockpile of items potentially at Willy's store. So of course this might cause an issue during, let's say, the winter event when you have the boats there, and for 3 days I might not have any access to this. Is there seriously not a single spring onion? Really? Not a thing? Okay, well this save is kind of going hardcore. I am unable to find a single forageable item here, which is really bad. I'm gonna need the horseradish and the leek in order to plant the seeds. So the cool thing is that I'm actually at least coming across dandelions. The reason why this is cool, of course, is because an obvious reason. Dandelion will at least give me 25 energy. But I don't want to be eating this type of salad diet all the time. But also I cannot go crazy and start chopping down trees and not do anything else with the rest of my day. So we need to get to the beach before 5 p.m. Obviously I still do not possess the 300 wood which I would require in order to access the second part of the farm. Or the beach. Sorry, my bad. But what I can do is basically keep a stockpile of wood at the beach, and once I hit 300 I can go and build the bridge. So let's go talk with Crazy Willy and get our hands on a fishing rod. And I can tell you right now, most likely me being able to reach the high concentration of fish is 0 to none. Now the question here is, when you are going through the fishing rod, you start off with the bamboo rod, which is the basic one. Then you upgrade the rod so you can be utilizing bait, and then you get the iridium quality rod, which costs 7,500. In the previous versions, you were never able to sell back the bamboo rod or the other rod back to Willy if you went to the store. I do wonder if you can actually sell the rods right now to him, or if this still remains something that I will need to maintain in the chest here at the shore. So when it comes to me storing the items at the beach, I tend to put the chest over here. That way I can put the not that much needed items here, so that I can potentially have a bigger inventory available to me, and I can go crazy fishing right now. Of course, I'm gonna still try to go to see Pierre and purchase more seeds, but we will see. Maybe I will hold out and keep the money just because I still did not plant the scarecrow at my farm, and I am okay with losing some parsnips, but I am not okay losing, for example, kale or cauliflower. Now, when it comes to your inventory and when you unlock the community center, what will happen is that when you will be hovering over certain items, there will be some sort of reaction, so you will know to check the overall community center bundles to see that yes, this item can be actually dropped off. So pay attention to that, but I'm skipping ahead, of course. And because I was talking, I kind of missed out on that reaction. So that was on me. It's unfortunate I did not come across too many spring onions, but at least I'm gonna catch, let's say, 3 fish. I'm gonna go check the rest of the map, potentially interact with the rest of the community, if it won't be super late. I would prefer to do it now rather than later, because that way I am sure that I will not come across certain blockages, such as not being able to enter somebody's home after a certain hour. So how about we go with these items so far. The fishing rod can stay here, and when I return, I can pick it up from the chest, and I will be able to resume my fishing. So at least I have 3 fish right now to be sold. Most likely what I will do now is go see Pierre, and maybe I'm gonna get my hands on more parsnips. Reason why I want to get my hands on more parsnips right now is for following reason. I want to have 5 gold star parsnips for the quality bundle in the community center. Now, based on what I saw, you don't have to go, of course, with the community center. You can sell it off to Joja Mart. And in the 1.4 update, you will actually have an option to upgrade the Joja Mart warehouse into a more interesting option. Is that a potential spoiler? I don't know. You should definitely, however, look into the patch notes left in the description of the video for more useful information. And I will try to cover as much as possible, and this is why I'm also restarting the game. If I would have been, let's say, in level 90 or so in the mountains, well, there are supposed to be some new creatures living there. I do not know in what levels they are. I do not know how the overall changes implemented will affect the overall gameplay, so I rather start from the scratch and we will see how this turns out. The cool thing here is also that if you are doing these quests, you are not only receiving money for the items and fulfilling these quests, you are also increasing your relationship with the townsfolk. Now, you however have to be careful, because if you would, for example, get a quest from Haley And yes, you can get this in spring season. You just have to keep an eye on the notice board. If you would have 7 days in a week, let's say yesterday I dropped off for Haley the flower. She liked it. That's cool. But now I'm only left with one gift left. And when you are dropping off the items, this counts as a potential gift. So now I would potentially have to hold out and see if Haley will not post any requests on the notice board till the end of this week, because if I will actually fulfill the quest from the notice board, I can be guaranteed a 1 heart increase in the relationship with her. So if I were to fulfill a quest and get a heart, and then give her the daffodil on her birthday, which is the 14th of spring, I am guaranteed 3 heart relationship with Haley. This means that if I were to enter her home, I get to activate the 3 heart event with her, and potentially I have a dance partner guaranteed for the flower dance event. So definitely keep an eye on the notice board. It's a great tool to use. In a playthrough where I utilized the tips from the comment section before 1.4 has been launched, which I did not upload onto YouTube, I was doing as many of these quests as I possibly could, and it has helped me a lot when it came to my financial situation and my relationship status with the villagers themselves. Unfortunately, as the mountain is still blocked off, I cannot access it and get my hands on quartz. So unfortunately, I have to skip on this one. Let's see, did we interact with most of the girls? Yep. We are missing only few people. Let's go with 10 more. That will work for us right now. Potentially take a look if there is anything for foraging in here. Let's give you a flower. And I'm giving her a flower because she has now a job posted on the notice board. So most likely she will not have another post on the notice board by tomorrow, or hopefully by the end of the week, as the requests tend to be rotated amongst the villagers themselves. So you won't see every day in a week, let's say, a job from Clint. Hello. And there is a leak. Is anyone home? Hello, Sebastian. We have not been introduced yet. Cool stuff, cool stuff. So we met everyone from this household. I will need to interact with Linus. And there is a horseradish as well. Okay, I'm gonna have to definitely come back. Wow, 2 leeks. You know what? How about we give you this? You do like all the forageable items. So I'm gonna come back here. I'm gonna pick up more wow! Okay, so we did not pick up... Okay, look at that! We did not come across any of the forageable spring onions in the forest area, but wow, we came across so many horseradishes and especially leeks. This footage is making me look bad because I said that leeks don't tend to spawn as much as, let's say, daffodils or dandelions. So fun thing. So there will be a bit of a difference in the maturity of my crops, but it will not affect me that dramatically. But I'm gonna get a decent amount of these, so potentially I will at least have 5 gold star quality ones. So let's go pick up all the remaining forageable goods. I will potentially eat 1 leek. I will make 1 bundle of the seeds so I can plant it with those 5 parsnips there. So I'm gonna have at least some sort of, layout which is not so horrible to look at, so it's at least a bit aesthetically pleasing to the eye. So we have 1 more horseradish here, 1 more, actually 2 more leeks. Wow, okay. And I don't know if you can hear it, but the construction is ongoing, so I'm gonna have to keep an eye on the entrance to the mines themselves. So right now, Joja is working on the removal of the obstructions. So we can go plant the seeds. Here's the thing. I won't be able to interact with her. It's getting super late, so she will be most likely at Marnie's farm, locked in her room playing with her toys. Wizard will actually invite us over to speak with him once the community center is unlocked. Gus we can talk with, Alex we can talk with, so it depends on what's your priority throughout the days, but you should be able to meet the NPCs really fast, and by doing so, now you have the potential of finding out what the NPC likes. So right now, if we go through the listed items, we know that she likes the flowers. So cool thing. And we see here all the NPCs we came across and when is their birthday. So really cool. Just by saying hi, we suddenly know when these people celebrate their birthday despite them not mentioning such information. I do wonder how in the world did we come across that info. Anyhow, I should make this. Actually, I can make 2 bundles. So how about we go with that? I know, it's crazy to be using this much energy for farming, but remember, these seeds go for upgrading your foraging skill. Therefore, there are actually uses for them. And if you would have looked over one of the other videos on my channel, you would see in the comment section that one of the viewers has left a useful tip in there which would let you know that you don't need actually scarecrows for scaring off the crows from your farm. These seeds are apparently not affected by the crows, so they can grow without the use of scarecrows, and you don't have to be afraid of losing your seeds that way. And I'm glad I got rid of that tree, because right now I'm able to see that I did not plant somehow 1 additional seed, which is kind of strange as it looks like I used 10 seeds. That's strange. So since I have more energy left, I'm gonna try to chop down a few more trees just to clear out more area at the farm. This is also due to the fact that I want to get my hands on the wood so that I have the access to the other part of the beach. Five energy left. So I'm not gonna be able to chop down an actual tree. This is all the energy I had for today. I'm missing a maple seed, but we should do just fine. And overall, yeah, that looks like it for the first day, or the first 2 days here on Your Professional Walkthroughs 1.4 update on Stardew Valley. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it's super extremely long, and yeah, I still have not upgraded my microphone, but hopefully someone has watched it till this point. So thank you for watching, and hopefully I will see you on the next upload on my channel. In the meantime, feel free to check out all the other videos which have been uploaded. You might find something that you will enjoy, and maybe subscribe to see more content which I will try to post. Until then, I wish you all the best, and I will hopefully see you soon. Bye bye.